Hello everyone, welcome to the reading. This reading will be for the energetic storyline of Britney Spears. Please press the thumbs up button, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think about the video. Much appreciated. So let's see what's going on with her. So this is interesting. She's definitely chilling, she's feeling good. She's optimistic. She's an energy of change. But the thing with this is that it's kind of like an illusion. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like a bubble she created for herself. And I'll explain why. If you look at this card, this is symbolic of Britney Spears. Like just chilling, enjoying like the emotions. You see she's laying on water. But if you look at what would be seen as the abundance, like all the plants and all that, it's only around like her. It's only around like the emotions, like that's the bubble part. But like if you look beyond the bubble, it's destitute, and the fact that the moon is there is showing that she's caught up in an illusion. So, yep, that's what that is. So this is interesting. During this illusion that she's caught up in, it has to do with sort of like funneling of her energy and resources. So someone's trying to suck her dry. This is about energies that aren't balanced. It's kind of just like one person is trying to like take everything while the other person is like going along for the ride. It's kind of just like time is going to make everything known as far as like what's happening, but it's kind of just like the train is already started. The gears are already in motion. So this is something I'm getting the energy of that she can't avoid. She's like dancing with an energy that's already like linked to her, and I don't know if this has to do with the Sam guy or what's going on, but it's kind of just like whatever she's been trying to associate with or whatever's happening behind the scenes, she's kind of like linked up with this person, and this person wants to funnel sort of like energy and resources out of her. So that's interesting. So let's see. Who is this person? From the bottom of the deck, I'm going to choose Britney's energy. It's going to be a representation of Britney. Yeah, so she's feeling like all sexy and shit, but this lady's disturbed. And it's not because Britney's disturbed. I mean, it's like, look at the card. And from the top of the deck, it's going to be symbolic of this person that's trying to funnel shit from her. So this person is a serpent, He's a sea serpent at that. Can't even talk at the moment. So it's kind of like he's like saying things to her that's affecting like her emotions, kind of like he's a smooth talker, he's trying to devour her, but he's like luring her in with like the things that he's saying. So that's really interesting. Let's get a deeper look into that. What is up with this guy? Okay, that was quick. So this has to do with family. So whatever he's telling her, it's going to affect sort of like her family dynamic, like the give and take that was sort of like going on in her family. He's shaking things up. You see, and what this is showing is that, remember, this was supposed to be Britney and this is supposed to be this guy. So obviously this is Sam then. So it's kind of just like he wants the power to distribute her resources and her wealth, while Britney kind of looks like an idiot, kind of like not knowing what to do because she's, going through things. She has like a mental disorder. So I guess I shouldn't have called her an idiot. But yeah, she's basically disturbed, and so he's trying to use this to his benefit. So let's leave that there for now. Well, let's look into her energies. This has to do with boundaries and sort of like restrictions. But the thing is that she's not good with that. So she's having issues with creating boundaries and restrictions. She feels like that's what she's currently doing, or she's in the process of doing. But it's kind of just like she's not creating boundaries or restrictions for other people. She's kind of just creating it for herself. So she's putting herself in another sort of like situation. So that's interesting. Let's continue to see what the cards show. Energies. All right. Yeah, it has to do with sort of like the foundation. Like her foundation and Sam's foundation. He wants to be linked up with what she's doing. I don't know if he's going to be successful or not, but this is what he's trying to do. So let's go deeper into the energies. Yeah, this is kind of interesting because she feels like she's having a pure new start. You know what I mean? So this is kind of just like symbolic of family again, and it's kind of just like she's turning her back on them. She feels like really happy and kind of like, she's basically in a trance. This guy with his smooth talking and all that, he's putting her in a trance. So it's kind of like he's separating her from her family, and it's funny because I know everyone says like her family is horrible and all this stuff, but it's kind of just like, would you rather have the people that's basically robbing you? Would you rather it be a stranger or kind of like your family? I mean, it's both bad, and I'm not saying that they're robbing her, but it's kind of just like, from the stories and all that, it's kind of just like, would you rather kind of like give up control of your money to some guy that's in it for like bad reasons, or give it to people that kind of like raised you, So those are the energies. That's pretty interesting. Let's continue to go deep. So yeah, this is kind of just like, he's like alchemizing the energy, Like if you look at this dude's face, he's really like dark and shadowy, and it's kind of just like he's trying to like create like a vibration that affects the way she feels with her emotions. This is like water and all, so it's symbolic of like emotions. So what he's doing is he's trying to craft her emotions by mixing it with the way he feels and doing some sort of like juju and making shit happen. I'm not saying that's what he's into. I don't know if he's a witch or anything, but symbolically is showing that he's trying to sort of like warp her emotionally. So let's look deeper into this. This is interesting. All right. So this is interesting. It's kind of just like things are breaking down in Britney's life. She feels like the sun is kind of like shiny and kind of like melting away the old, causing the old to like die off, and like transition into something else. Kind of like when the sun rays touches like ice and all that, it melts, right? And turn into water, so it's turning into something else. But it's something kind of like deep going on, because it's kind of like not just water. It's kind of like steam and shit, symbolic of smoke. So it's like, yeah, things are transitioning, but there's a lot of like deceit that's going around. You know, even symbolic of kind of like this smoke that's coming out of this skeleton's head. You know, it's kind of just like she's not thinking straight. And I don't know if it has to do with her situation, but obviously I'm guessing it's her mental situation, and it's the smooth talk of whoever this guy is, you know. Because it could be Sam, but I'm getting like there's something else going on as well, so it's interesting. So this is like a cause and effect sort of energy. You know, this is kind of just like people behind the scenes, you know, like as far as I guess the dad, the mom, the lawyers, and just people. Like, you know, I don't know what's going on in her life, but, you know, this can be kind of like industry bosses and stuff. You know, they're kind of like observing the situation, you know, and they're trying to make like preparations as far as like this new phase change that she's entering into, you know. And this is again like the energy of choices. You know, it's kind of just like what she's doing, it can lead her to like the prosperity and the abundance that she wants, but it can also end her. I know it's deep, but it's kind of just like end her as far as like, you know, she might put herself into a situation where she's even more trapped, is basically what I'm trying to say. You know, with this sort of like potential energy is showing is that like she's not aware of how slippery this situation can be. You know what I mean? It's kind of like she's being very reckless. You know, like this can tip over, you know, for any reason. You know, and it's the same thing sort of like with her life. You know, it's kind of just like if she marries this dude, you know, if it goes down and shit. And not even just marry the guy. It's kind of just like things going on behind the scenes too, as far as like the dad and stuff like that. So I don't know like if the dad is just like all evil and jacked up. I feel like obviously he is. But I'm feeling like with this potential energy, it's kind of just like she could put herself in a bigger trap than what she was in. You know, and she's not understanding that. You know what I mean? Again, it has to do with sort of like her earthly riches, you know, her abundance. You know, people are trying to tap into that, you know, as far as like her music goes, the rights to her music, and all like sorts of deep shit. It's like a lot of people that has their hands in the cookie jar, you know. And so, yeah, that's really interesting. I'm gonna leave it here for now. This situation's obviously like layered and it's deep, but I just kind of just wanted to tap into the energy and see what's going on. Like, I didn't have any like questions to ask, but yeah, this was a reading. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know, tell me what you think about this video and the drama and all that. Okay, cool. Thanks. Bye.